Splayed. The Splayed podcast. Play on Splayed.
Click the link.
Click the link. Splayed. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, guys? It's Splayed.
Yes.
Splayed, episode number 11, I think. For the second season. This is season 2, so I don't know what fucking number. I don't know what episode.
Yeah.
It really is.
We're just doing it.
Yeah, we're just doing it, baby. All right. Splayed topics. Today's topic is, it's actually a mix. It's a chimera.
Cool.
But we're going to actually open up with treasure hunters today.
Yeah.
Treasure hunters, treasure hunting, and treasure...
Anything that you consider that's lost as a treasure.
Yeah. What's treasure to you, Adam? I'm going to actually open this up right now and ask you, what's treasure to you?
Okay. I like lost architecture. How about that?
Lost
architecture. So
like a buried seaman, you know, that was out at sea.
Seaman.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right?
Well, I'm thinking more of like modern day architecture. Some buildings from like the 80s or 70s, and they get torn down to make way for the new buildings.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So okay. But it's been buried?
Not really. It's just gone. It's just been torn down.
Okay. Because how is it treasure?
I just like the look of them back in the day.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a buried like 1970s.
Oh, like
house.
They buried a house.
And they buried it along with like 3,000 soldiers or something.
Oh, the terracotta.
Yeah, terracotta warriors.
The famous 70s terracotta warriors with afros. Disco shoes. This is the Emperor's long lost album collection. He was a very big ABBA fan.
What does ABBA sing?
Disco girl.
Disco. What is it?
I forget how the lyrics go, but
damn it. Okay, hold on, guys. Ladies, yeah. I need an ABBA song. ABBA. Not
ABB.
Yeah, ABVA.
Yeah.
Is it 2 B's?
2 B's.
What the? Okay, all right.
Because I couldn't spell in the 70s.
I see you.
Go, Queen.
Sorry, fuck the. That's okay. Please, I sincerely am gonna cut that. I see you, ABBA. That's what I'm gonna say. Creepy. By the way, creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson on creepy for the audience. I just cut out a line that I said because it creeped me out.
You creeped him.
So for context, right? That's why we're suddenly talking about creepy. We went from ABBA to creepy, and you're probably like, "What the fuck?"
What happened?
And I'm like, "Yeah, it's because I said something." I have this theory about what makes creepy. So you're talking to a girl, right? And she's like, "Oh, you're creepy, motherfucker," you know, like that.
Okay.
Creepy, and you say it creepily like that. Here's a thought on creepiness, man. It actually boils down to possessiveness, or a perspective of superiority. Like when you view a person as a pet.
Okay, so you're saying
that is the root. I figured it out.
Yeah.
That is the root of creepiness. So like when a guy comes over and like starts to like puts his hand on your shoulder, he's like, "Hey, good job there, Jimmy."
Uh-huh.
You know?
I've never had that happen to me.
Well,
just a guy comes over and is like, "Hey, you're my friend.
Right.
Can I buy you a drink?"
when he just feels like he's somehow privileged to be able to touch you that way. Girls get a lot of it. Guys get it occasionally. And it is super creepy, but there's also other ways, just subtle ways where they can be engaging with you. And it's the way that they talk down to you, right? Like, "Hey, sugar plum," you know? I don't know.
Oh.
But it's just like they treat you like some sort of like a dog or a pet. You know what I mean? Like you should be so excited to hear them like speaking encouraging words to you and like pet you and like, you know what I'm talking about?
That's more like a narcissist that they're like so better than you, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's the root of it.
Narcissism.
I think it's linked to narcissism, creepiness. I think they're associated. So I think that's interesting. I think I've distilled the root of creep. Right. So when you see someone as a peer, you don't go and just put your hand on their shoulder and like feel like they're so excited to be pet,
Yeah.
right? And to be, and you don't use like baby words to describe them, right?
Yeah.
But with with someone who's a narcissist or someone who's, sort of feels superior, that's how they engage, and they'll rub your shoulders without any sort of hint that that's what you wanted, right?
It's like a sexual harassment training.
You're a good boy. Anyway, yeah, so it's this pet thing where they sort of see you as something to be had and something that is, enamored with them, you know what I mean? That I think is the source of creep.
Creep. Well, okay, what about the creepiness of like being in like a very unfamiliar place? Like in a...
Oh yeah, that's a different type of creepy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's different, I'm talking about like the creepiness
of a person.
But yeah, creepiness of a place. What is that? Where does that stem from?
Yeah.
Is that Abba? Does Abba?
Abba can be that.
Abba could be that. Abba's probably good. I should take that back. I'm sorry, Abba. Hold on.
You're just in a dark abandoned warehouse and all of a sudden you hear Disco Queen come over out of nowhere.
Well, I need to actually, this is the Abba website.
They don't have like...
But there's not a single fucking song on here. Okay, wait, listen, play. What the hell? I'm like 30 clicks removed from the music here. Okay, we'll go here. And jeez.
Would you like to buy our full discography?
I have a dream. What is the most popular ABBA song?
Disco
Rock
Queen.
Me? What is it? Disco
No.
what?
Disco Queen.
I don't see it on here. I don't see it on here.
17. That one.
17. Sorry. I'm sorry. That didn't happen. All right.
So anyway, but yeah, like I was saying before, architecture, like, how parts of a mall that was like built in like the 80s and it had that really neon like looking from the 80s kind of look from it. You have no idea.
No, I'm drawing a blank, dude. I'm just staring into your eyes and at a loss. There's a void of understanding.
Okay.
An empty space between us that is lacking in knowledge.
So you've never
Distill the thoughts of your mind and convey them through the air into my cerebral cortex, please.
Okay. You go to
I crave
knowledge. But you go to
the
buildings.
imagery of thy mind. What?
You see, I went to like the mall a lot back in the day.
I always did too. We were there together.
Yeah, just hanging out, going to the arcade. But some of the parts were built in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
And they had that kind of look where it's like, oh, this is the future. It's going to be all pink and retro, right?
I don't remember that. I remember them being like dark.
Dark?
Like bad lighting.
Bad light. Which mall are you thinking of?
Like the University Mall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one does have a lot of dark.
Well, it's light now. Like now you go in and it's like they completely redid it. So you
True.
go in now and it's like blindingly white.
Yeah.
Like it's just like white paint with like the ceiling removed, and then like ultra bright white lights everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's just like, whoa.
But you recognize, you remember the whole restaurant up there, right?
Yeah, I do.
It was up above, like you look out and you see the other side of the mountains and everything.
Yeah, I like restaurants that are high up.
Yeah, the Space Needle.
Yeah, is there a restaurant on the Space Needle?
There is, and it rotates.
Dude, we gotta go to the
to
Space
Seattle.
Needle. Let's go to Seattle and do it. Let's do it.
But yeah.
Seattle's supposed to be a chill ass place.
Oh, I would like to go visit,
Yeah.
go see them. But like I was saying, that architecture does not exist anymore, right? You can't go there and visit that place anymore.
Right? Okay.
It's gone.
Okay, so that's a treasure to you.
Yeah, that's
because
a lot.
Because it's gone?
It's tied to a memory, let's say.
Okay.
But it was cool, I thought.
Yeah.
But we won't have that.
I don't understand why it's a treasure, though. If you can't have it. Is it because you can't have it? Are all treasures always things that you can't have?
Lost treasure that it'll never be found.
Oh, but was it treasure before it was lost, though?
Not really. I
didn't really care about it.
People
so much.
didn't really,
Yeah.
They didn't do well in business, so
Okay.
they just kind of said, "Well, we're just going to get rid of that," Or
and rightfully so.
rightfully so.
But now it's a treasure, and how dare they have?
What were you saying about narcissism?
Hey,
No.
Just because I'm a narcissist doesn't make me creepy. All right.
No, you're the anti-creepy narcissist.
Kind of does though. It probably does. I think if you're narcissistic, you're creepy. That's probably true. There's probably like a 1-to-1 overlap.
Yeah, I mean they're in the same group. If you're going up near someone and saying, "Hey, you need to praise me,"
in a way, that's subtly what you're saying, right? Yeah.
It's like I'm just here. I'm in the
and then
room.
You start like nuzzling them. You know,
you're like a cat.
You're like a cat. You just kind of like. Would that be? See, that's a different type of creepy, right? Because it's like that's just crazy. You know, it's like. Whoa.
Hey there.
Hey.
You're in a business meeting and your boss is nuzzling you.
Yeah.
And he's like, well.
I don't know what I do. You know, I'd probably just go with it. You know, I'd be like, all right, fuck it.
Okay.
Pet his head, you know.
And he's like, yes. You will get another raise.
Okay, boss.
Yes, you are number one.
You're okay. That's the opposite, though. You know, it's because then they're sort of submitting themselves to you. You know.
True. Yeah. Then you're the one who's having the power over them.
But it's different. If they submit to you, then it's different. You know. Whereas if I just kind of go over to you and start stroking your head, then
if you're just coming over and just like patting my head for no reason while you're talking to someone else, I don't know how to take that.
Put my arm around you, start brushing your hair, you know.
And you're talking to another person, but you're not paying attention to what you're doing. And I'm just like,
I start picking like grubs out of your hair, you know.
That's how orangutans, like apes. They clean each other for hierarchy.
But again, I'd imagine it's the same thing with an ape. Like the other ape like submits themselves to the grooming, right? It's not like, you know, it's like there's a trust between them. You know?
Well, they don't make eye contact and they just kind of bow their head.
Yeah.
And then the other one comes over and starts picking nits off them.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah. He's the higher up, so I'll let him do what he wants, you know?
Well, or there really is a higher up because apes.
Because apes.
I mean, we have that here too, right? There's a social pecking order. We have peckers. Okay, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We lost the video feed. Hopefully, it didn't cut off that long ago, and I can just put in like please stand by.
Yeah,
something like that. We'll see. We'll check it out.
Or a big Looney Tunes logo, like we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Ow. That hurt.
I like Looney Tunes. I don't like Looney Tunes. You know what I don't like about Looney Tunes, dude, is I saw this on Fox News. They were dissing Looney Tunes.
Really?
Because there was like some new version of it coming back without the guns or something. I don't know. They were throwing did you see that?
I've seen,
a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
And they were critiquing it. Anyway, I don't know, man. I gotta admit though, like for a kids show, I'm not sure it was necessary to have Elmer Fudd walking around, and Bugs Bunny hitting him in the face with a mallet.
What about Bugs Bunny cross-dressing and? Yeah,
there's some stuff where it's like, yeah, that's interesting. Throw that one at Fox News.
Yeah.
Oh, was it okay to have Bugs Bunny cross-dressing?
Yeah.
Right?
How about that?
Sean,
or no, who's the guy on Fox News?
Yeah. Sean, is it Hannity or Hannity? Yeah.
How about that, Hannity?
You're okay with the hammer? Are you okay with the cross-dressing?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And him kissing him? Yeah. I bet you are.
No. But Bugs Bunny was gay though, right?
No, I think he was.
I think the character was actually supposed to be.
Was he supposed to be?
I think so.
No, he had a girlfriend.
Really?
Lola Bunny, remember?
Really?
Space Jam.
Okay, but I think on the cartoon, I think he was supposed to be gay.
Okay. So
I would think the original creator would say that he was supposed to be gay. There may be takes of him where he's more straight, but
is he fluid sexual?
Yeah, maybe he's like, what is that? Metasexual? What is it?
He's hyperbole.
Hyperbole? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think that's pansexual, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the word.
But it's a cartoon, right? He's just like, oh, I'm going to sing opera and make them all look funny.
Okay. Treasure hunting.
Mm-hmm. Actual treasure
hunting. Yo ho.
Deal.
Ho and a bottle of rum.
Well, you can be a treasure hunter no matter what, It's like, hey, I'm going to go find the lost conquistadors in Africa. They never went to Africa.
Yeah. So apparently we both saw this in the news. We were looking for treasure hunters and this happened to come up.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Forrest Finn.
Forrest Finn.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Still alive today.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Still alive today, which kind of makes it kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if the guy who buried the treasure is still alive,
then it's not really worth it.
You know, I don't know. It's a little bit fishy to me. It's like, come on, guys, he's still alive. Just go ask him where the fucking treasure is. You know.
Yeah.
So, which they did, and apparently broke into his house a couple times. Point is,
yeah.
What happened? Tell me the story.
So he had a cancer diagnosis,
right,
10 years ago.
Okay.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to fill the chest up with $1 million worth of antiques, gold. And I'm going to go out in the forest.
Apparently, he has money, by the way.
Yeah. He's an art dealer.
Oh, that's why he had antiques and gold. I didn't understand that part. Okay.
So
he's got, yeah.
He's like, I'm rich, but I'm dying.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take all this little treasure chest. I'm going to go out in the woods and die with it, and leave a poem.
Yeah.
So you guys can come find me and the treasure.
Yeah.
Turns out he got better.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets kicked out of that too, you know. He makes a joke about it, you know. He's like, the thing was, I got better, you know, or whatever, and everyone laughs. I'm sorry, but if you can't tell, I don't like this guy.
You don't like him?
I don't like him at all.
Would you like it if, like, a pharaoh was like, I have hidden thousands of billions of dollars in, you know, this tomb, but he didn't die. He lived forever. He was an immortal.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, where's this gold at? You know, he keep telling us where it's at. And he's just, like, living in Florida.
Yeah.
He's like...
He's got a retirement home.
Yeah.
You know?
Ancient pharaoh.
Yeah.
Just living in Florida. He's like, I ain't telling you shit.
I ain't telling you shit.
He talks with a southern accent. He's from Egypt.
Yeah.
I was Pharaoh Kuntum the Ninth. God damn it. Just living on his, like, Florida pension.
I'm retired.
I
got So yeah, wait, what the fuck were we talking about?
Okay, so would you be mad?
Yeah.
At the pharaoh for not releasing the location?
Yeah, I don't even know, man. Let's go back to Finn.
Okay, you're
Finn?
pissed at him.
I'm pissed at Finn. Is it Finn?
Forrest Finn.
Finn.
Finn is the Adventure Time guy.
Okay. So, what I don't like about Finn, dude, is he's kind of a dick. Okay, because like apparently. There was like thousands of people out looking for this treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like thousands.
And people gave up their whole careers.
And apparently at least one, maybe a couple of them have reportedly died.
4 confirmed.
Yeah. People have died looking for this treasure. And so he's talking on the cast or radio cast or interview or whatever. And he's like, I don't really feel responsible for them, you know? Which, I mean, to some degree, he's not entirely wrong, but...
You're the one who spurred it.
Yeah, you sent them out on a wild fucking goose egg hunt. Goose chase.
Well, goose chase.
What's the line?
Goose chase. But
a wild goose what?
Goose hunt.
Chase.
Chase. So his reasoning is like, I just wanted people to go out. You're just all over the road.
Continue.
Well, he wanted people to go out in the woods, you know? He's like, I want to get people back out in nature.
Yeah, that's his thing. He's like, he was talking about people with their texting machine. You know, another anti-millennial.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like them with their texting machines.
Yeah.
I don't like them with their computers.
With their technology.
Their synthetic mind.
Why can't they be art dealers?
Yeah, why can't we all be...
But yeah,
dealers.
So 4 people died looking for it. He got those people out in the woods, all right.
Yeah.
But look what the woods did to those people.
Yeah. Woods are dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, the woods are dangerous. So, I mean, I guess he succeeded. But honestly, the people that he got out into the woods probably were so inclined anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You have treasure hunters as a thing. That's a thing, right? Like, that's a thing. It's a profession amongst wealthy, retired or otherwise well endowed. I don't know.
Well endowed. They have to have the capital and the endowment to hunt treasure. Yeah. So you get the rich CEO who's like a size 50. And he's like, I'm going to be a treasure hunter because he doesn't have anything else to worry about. He doesn't have to worry about bills or anything.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
These are like you look at those people who dig up like ships, and I was like, who the fuck does that? Like, who the fuck has time to do that? And you got to figure out, like, oh, it's people who have no fucking problems.
Yeah.
Like, they never had to worry about having enough money for food at the end of the week. You know what I mean?
Or surviving.
They got money to fucking burn. They don't want to be in philanthropy because they don't give a fuck. So they're going to go up and dig up buried treasures and shit. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess some people are like, oh, it's cool. But like, from my perspective, where I'm sitting, my opinion, my personal opinion, my narcissistic, important, self-important opinion is that these assholes could put that money to much better use, you know? But I don't
Like
know.
actually doing something.
Yeah, like fucking do something with your money to help some people.
Okay, here's a contradiction.
I don't know.
What about Elon Musk? Would you consider him a treasure hunter?
If Mars is
the goal?
treasure, then yeah. I don't know. What do you mean? I don't even like. How do you even get Mars and treasure hunter? Wait, sorry, Musk
Yeah.
and treasure hunter crossed.
Like you're saying, the treasure hunters have nothing to worry about. Elon Musk, you know, he's running a company, but
Yeah.
he has enough money to do whatever. He's doing
yeah.
SpaceX. He's doing whatever he wants, right?
But he's trying to save humanity. That's exactly my example.
Okay,
right.
so when we get up to Mars and we find the alien like tombs,
yeah.
and we start raiding them, would you call him a treasure hunter then?
Is this a conspiracy theory that I'm like
It might be. But
I'm not aware of? You know what he's going to Mars for, right?
what?
Those hot alien
Oh, more alien women.
Nascavarians, dude. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't. Is there a treasure there that Musk is driving us there for? Something that we don't know? Musk, tell us. Is there buried treasure on Mars? Here's the thing: is there minerals on Mars that we could use? Probably like a fuckload of minerals on Mars. That's the thing: is all of space is a treasure.
Yeah, that's the big jewel. You know, you go out there and you start colonizing.
You got like comets made of gold.
Look at that one. But
Right.
rare minerals, you know, habitat, making more Mars inhabitable,
Yeah.
and we're just like hanging out up there. But then, you know, we find different crashed alien ships.
Okay, yeah. Do you think there would be? Okay, I was reading this article because it showed up in my news feed like a bajillion times.
They just really want to get in there.
Yeah, and it was a good article, okay? They were talking about aliens, and they said that there is a high probability, based off of this bullshit that we did, that there is 36 or more alien civilizations in the galaxy right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Maybe more historically. But at least 36 that are living and breathing. I think they said civilizations too. So not just like life,
Yeah.
but like advanced complex life.
Whole
Yeah.
solar system.
Well, because
full
they
of it.
figure they can figure now. Like they found enough planets, they actually have a statistically significant sample size, I guess, right? They would allow them to guesstimate roughly how many planets like Earth exist.
Oh, yeah.
Around stars like ours. We don't yet know if red dwarfs can host life-bearing planets because the planets orbiting a red dwarf have to orbit. They have to get really, really close to the planet, so we don't actually know.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are, you know, different versions, not like
Yeah.
different versions of Earth, but versions of
Yeah.
planets that can host life.
Yeah. So
But getting out there,
yeah,
or they come to us.
yeah.
Who says they haven't, right?
They could have.
Yeah.
They could have.
Microorganisms.
So the thing that I wanted to say though is that with that many like they know how many planets are out there that are just like ours, and they're not even counting the ones around red dwarfs, which I think are more numerous.
Yeah.
So just the planets that are like ours, there's enough of those that, based off of how rapidly life evolved on this planet, there should be about 36
Yeah.
alien civilizations in the star system.
And again,
In the galaxy. Is
Yeah.
the star system, is the solar system a star system?
like, okay,
Or
so
is the star system a galaxy?
you got ours, because we're the Milky Way.
Yeah, it's
That's
a system
a
of
galaxy.
stars. Yeah, so it's a system of stars,
Yeah.
right? So that's a star system.
You can call it a star system, yeah.
Or is a star system the universe? When someone says star system,
I think it gets thrown around a lot in like, pop culture. So they're like, go to the star system sector 5, and they just
Sector
mean
5.
they just mean the
Go to
galaxy,
Sector
right?
5.
Right there.
It's
The
over there.
Russian.
It's left of the laboratory. Sector 5.
What if Russians were like the first ones out there, right?
Sector 5. Yeah.
Sector
Why in
5.
Russia is Sector 5 always next to the laboratory? I don't know, but
Planet Lenin.
Planet Lenin on Sector 5. Okay, it's time for the letter of the day. And the letter
Q.
of the day.
He just starts singing and go, Q!
Quack. Quaker. Quell. Quench. Queef.
No, you just go through all the Q's.
Is queef start with Q? It starts with Q.
I don't know.
What letter does queef start with?
I don't want to know.
It's not like a weird, like a CUI or something, right? Like it's like queef.
Q.
It's queef with a Q, right?
You put a Q. Q-U-E.
Queen.
Queen.
I don't mean that offensively.
No.
I'm just saying the word
Kuatu.
queer. Kuatu.
Yeah.
Kuwait.
Kuwait.
Koala is not a Q word.
Little of a koala just looking at you like, what do you mean Q? King Kwai.
I'm out of Q's.
Yeah.
Susie Q.
They're delicious. So anyway, treasure hunting.
Yeah.
So we talked about Elon Musk and aliens, and then it went off into outer space for a little bit.
Yeah.
Elon Musk was our rocket to outer space for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, Starship, dude. I'm fucking pumped about. See, now that is treasure to me.
Okay.
Starship.
So actually having a fully
Crafted wealth is treasure. I hunt treasure by hunting the ability to craft.
okay.
If you're trying to get rich easy by walking around in the woods, then I don't know, wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
You know?
Bring a GPS.
Bring a GPS. You know what I mean? And some fucking water.
And let people know where you are.
And you're not going to be rich. So I don't know. And then when you do find the treasure, fucking tell people. Here's the thing about that whole fucking story that pisses me right off.
Yeah. Go on.
It pisses all over me. Okay? It's so okay? No, not in a bad way though. It's in a strange way.
That he did
That's
this.
good. A good strange way. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You hate that he did that.
Here's the thing. Yeah, they were looking.
Mm-hmm.
All these people are looking. Somebody found the treasure, and then like some kind of like a Egyptian mummy. He that we were talking about, like the Egyptian guy, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, what happened is he didn't tell anybody about it.
No.
So imagine like people putting their whole lives into this, and then when it's finally found, you don't even get to celebrate with all the other people that you were looking with.
Mm-hmm.
You get utterly cock blocked, right? Like you just
I get what you're saying. Okay.
no release.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the worst. Like these people got like they put their whole lives into it, and a lot of them were probably okay with not finding the treasure.
Yeah. But to know where it was and how he found it,
to at least
that's the thing.
celebrate. Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying that because when it came out that this guy who was from back east,
Yeah.
and he won't release his name, he won't say where he
And
found
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, if he would just say this is the poem where I found it,
Yes.
but then you would have people going to that area like constantly.
So what?
It would get people out more. So why that was his goal, right?
Yeah, just fucking either you or the guy and the guy's still alive.
Yeah.
The guy who started it. So if you obviously know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if the guy who found it's going to be a dick, you, the guy who hit it, should stand up and be like, "Hey guys, this is the meaning of the poem. This was the actual answer, and here's the treasure." Right? But it's like he got like 3,000 people on the cusp of orgasm, right? And
yeah,
then just
and
left.
just like, no, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that kind of frustration.
Right.
Another thing that happened like that.
Yeah, just hold on. I went to shift and I
shifting
kicked myself in the nuts. So, all right.
That's a wake-up call.
Yeah. All right.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm breathing.
So, another thing that happened like that, you ever heard of the Cicada 113
No.
mystery? Okay. It was a text-based thing that was put out on the internet. It's like, we're looking for highly intelligent people who can solve this clue. And it was a picture of a cicada, and it said 113.
It's such a bait, dude. It's such a clickbait headline. Like, if only smart people can answer this question, right?
Yeah, but people were like, we went down the rabbit hole, and they're like, oh, we went to this other website, decoded this image, went to another website that had a sound file that you decoded, and it's like this whole long thing.
So it's like one of those like cryptography chases, treasure chases.
Yeah,
those are the new thing now.
Yeah, a lot of people are in them.
They've done them for games and stuff like that, where it's like it's a treasure hunt, but in the modern age.
Exactly, it's all digital.
It's all digital. Yeah.
So anyway, the whole thing happened, and people were like, "What was the answer? What was going on?" And people were like, "Well, we got a phone call, and that was it." It was just like, "Congratulations." How big of a letdown was that after they did this whole thing?
Well, maybe there was something in that phone call. Like,
that's the thing. They're like, "Oh, we can't tell you what really happened."
Matrix has you, Neo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And they're out of the Matrix now. They're living in Florida with the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's the thing. I get you what you're saying. Is like, tell us what happened, right?
Just fucking tell us what happened. Like, don't be a,
Yeah, just hey,
whatever it is that you are.
Whatever you are.
Stop being that, because it sucks. Whatever you are.
Okay, how about like treasure where the guy is dead?
Treasure where the guy is dead. Okay, so the guy that buried it is dead.
Oh no, here's a good one.
Okay.
DB Cooper.
Who's DB Cooper?
He was a hijacker, a plane hijacker, right?
Okay.
I think early 70s or so. Anyway, he hijacked a Pan Am flight going to Seattle. Again, Seattle.
Yeah. And it seems to be the root of all.
Exactly.
This. Yeah.
But he told him.
Is there a Nicolas Cage movie in Seattle?
That could be. We should. Yeah. We'll research that.
We'll have to figure it out.
So he hijacked the plane, and he's like, "Hey, I have a bomb. But I want 4 parachutes."
I have a bomb. Sorry, continue. I'm just gonna read it the way that I want it to be read.
Okay. And he's like, "Hey."
And he's like,
"I gotta go here.
I gotta go here."
Q.
No, wait, continue. I want to do this.
All right, so he demanded 4 parachutes.
He demanded 4 parachutes.
You want to start a creepy pasta channel?
It's a creepy pasta channel.
Creepy with Rusty.
Yeah. Creep factor. Okay, wait, 4 parachutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he took, I think it was like $125,000.
Holy chicken.
And he jumped out the airplane.
Okay.
But they never found his body. The only thing they found was remnants of the money washed up on shore in a riverbank 30 miles away from where he jumped.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's like, what, did he survive and then bury the money? Or did he die?
What did they do with the money?
They found it. Well, this kid found it, actually. He was playing by the river.
Was the kid armed?
DB Cooper.
Was there blood on the kid's hands? You gotta.
Well, the kid was like 7. This was like years after. So he shot the skeleton to DB Cooper.
That's interesting, dude.
Yeah.
So do we think he just crashed into the river though?
That's what they,
and
people
the falls, like the water just like washed it down, all the treasure.
It could have.
So if you go upstream, there's more treasure, right?
There might be.
Why
so if you find more of the money,
yeah, it seems like you could just go upstream at that point.
You just find DB Cooper skeleton up in the tree with a parachute and a sack full of money. You're like, I found him.
Yeah,
this is my money now.
Dude, we saw a plane. So one time I was hiking around. So my dad's a big time hunter. Big time. He's a big time. He's got a big deal. He hunts. So he would drag me around hunting, and I hated it. But he would drag me out in the middle of nowhere. We'd hike for miles and miles and miles. Mm-hmm. And one time we saw a plane just in the side of the mountain.
Oh, like a okay.
Yeah. And it was kind of trippy.
You're like, did you investigate?
Yeah. So, we walked around it, just took a look, it was like half the plane over here, half the plane over there.
You're like...
So, it definitely crashed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, there's not a runway here. We got, a 45-degree angle mountain, and the plane is buried in it. You know what I mean?
It was a perfectly good land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you guys want to land? You want to go land here?
This is like a good spot.
But, okay, so you didn't find anybody, though.
Yeah, so we didn't find anybody. I don't think we saw any bodies there. I mean, we could have walked around a little bit better. I mean, who knows? For all we know, a mountain lion dragged him off. My guess is that, the plane was discovered whenever it crashed, and, the bodies were
taken away.
Or maybe they parachuted out, they survived, who knows? I don't know the history behind it. But it was really interesting to be in the middle of the woods and just see a crashed plane into a mountain,
That's interesting because if they can't get to the wreckage to remove it, they'll just leave it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right?
That's what I'm thinking, right? Yeah. So it's curious. Do they just leave it, or is it possible that we found someone who's been missing for X amount of years and just, no one's really happened by that spot? Or they did like we did. They happened by it and they just kind of
left it,
leave it, and they walk away, and no one really knows.
Yeah, I mean,
there's another topic I wanted to talk about today.
Yeah. Go ahead. What's your one?
Like I said, this is going to be a cornucopia,
the Hydra
of topics. Control versus negotiation.
Okay.
Authoritarianism versus negotiationism. Whatever that is.
So
Freedom.
Authority, and order,
like a way to rule a people or govern a people, or even a home or a group or a team.
Yeah.
Right?
Peace through tyranny.
Peace through tyranny. It's interesting. I think there's two types of people on this planet, and I wanted to hear your thoughts about this. I think there's two types of people on this planet.
Okay.
There are
one.
Anyway.
Interesting. You just remember to go, yes, very enlightened.
Right. There are authoritarians, people who seek to establish control over other people. They seek to establish what safety or social systems through control. They believe people need to be controlled.
Yeah, there wouldn't be problems if you thought like I did.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's negotiators. And these people, negotiators, understand that people cannot be controlled. Or at least that's their belief system, is that people cannot be controlled, and therefore all success is the result of negotiation. Skilled negotiation, where each side is made to compromise. And
to give and take, yeah.
Yeah, and your goal is to compromise as little as you have to get what it is that you want. And so a skilled negotiator can be successful, even in the face of a stubborn, right?
Yeah.
Opposition, right?
That he's willing to say, hey, if I can give you this, would you be willing to grant me the ability to say this?
Right.
Right.
Right. So it's interesting. I just, reading, through all the news that's coming out today and hearing about a lot of people in police force who have sort of authoritarian perspectives, because that is sort of the job.
Well, it is the job and how they're trained to look at it.
Yeah. So it's interesting because you have a role that can draw a specific type of person, and that can be dangerous. Because you have roles where sometimes the nature of the job is such that it draws the worst people qualified for it.
Yes. I get you there.
Yeah. And so it draws people who seek control. They seek order, but not a negotiated order.
No, this is the law.
This is the law. It's absolutarianism. It's authoritarianism, right? It's
this is the law. I have been given this law to enforce it.
They don't see it as the spirit of the law. They see everything as black and white, right? There's no gray. There's no negotiation. And those type of people there's a lot of them in the world today. These authoritarians can't cope with the inability to control and will quickly resort to physical strength to attempt to resolve conflict, while negotiators are a creature of stamina. A negotiator seeks to outlast its opponent in careful and patient exchange to the point of attrition, along with measured compromises to gain the outcome most approximate to the one they desire. So that is the difference between them. You see an authoritarian as a brute force, sort of a sprinter, maybe an aggressor, right?
Yeah.
Whereas a negotiator is a creature of stamina.
Okay, would you say,
and grace?
With the enforcer, would you say strength for them, strength equals victory?
Yes.
And then with the negotiator, it's like stamina is my victory, my
Yes.
long run.
Yes.
Okay. So again, you have the two people that are like black and white, and then there are people who are like gray and muddy gray.
Yeah, I mean, it's a muddy gray. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. It's muddy. It's an anti-hero.
Which one would you rather side with?
Oh, dude, I will take the negotiator all day, every day. Right? I'm definitely not an authoritarian.
Yeah,
right?
you're not wanting to rule by force.
I like freedom.
Yeah.
I think our country is built around the principles of freedom. The idea that you cannot control an educated populace, and yet an educated populace will be stronger than an uneducated populace.
Yeah.
So that's the contradiction. That's the contrarian. The dichotomy? I don't know. It's the contradiction between an authoritarian's belief system and the reality on the ground, right?
Yeah.
If you're an authoritarian, you believe that you can govern through control, but control does not promote ideas.
It doesn't. It's just there to rein in everyone.
Yes.
To keep everyone
You
from
keep order, but you also stifle ingenuity
and creativity.
So, and creativity. The best way to control a population is to keep them ignorant.
I think it speaks to us as a human race, because we're like, you look at the mentality of like Russia and U.S., that whole Cold War thing. The Russians were like, hey, we don't want our people to have free elections or anything like that. We're going to rein them in.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep them in.
Yeah.
And then the West, we're like,
Rein
hey,
'em.
we're willing to negotiate. We're willing to work things out. But we also had that mentality of like, we don't want other influences on us as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were like a mix of the two.
In the U.S.?
In the U.S., I think...
We're always striving for balance. There are two sides at war in our country at all times.
Yeah.
There's the authority. Like I said, there's two types of people. Authoritarians and whatever the negotiationarians are. We need a word for them. They are the opposite. And they are always at war with one another. And so our country is always poised on the balance between one and the other.
Yeah.
Right and left. People say, okay, you can't have a two-party system. It's flawed. But I think that I'm starting to understand that in reality, there is only two parties.
True, yeah.
There's only two ideologies, and you will fall into one camp or the other.
Because that's our main, drive, is like, we want to have safety and security, but we also want to have creativity and, expressiveness. But then we don't.
Expression.
But
Beauty, love, art, sex, money, hookers. We want
the negotiator.
Negotiator. No, I don't know. But that's the whole thing is we want beauty in this world. We want strength. And ironically,
a free strength.
It's only in cultural diversity, diversity in your genetics, diversity in your culture, that you find strength. That's you get more ideas out of an idea farm than you do out of an idea strangle.
Yeah. It's an idea strangle. So there's a line that says, a culture that's free to borrow from one another is more richer and diverse in its long run than it is than one that is suppressed and controlled to not, express one's feelings.
Yeah.
Because, in Russia, Gorbachev, was it Gorbachev? I don't know. One of them said, I don't like jazz music. I don't like freeform art. I don't like any of this.
Does he not ever Has he not ever heard of a guy named Miles Davis?
No, he's like, jazz music sounds like the things of needing to fart. I banned.
Why? He
hated
understands that like that is the root of cool.
Yeah.
And he just throws that away. I don't want cool.
Yeah.
I seek lameness, is what he says.
He's like, get rid of that.
Get rid of that.
And then put up the wall.
Put up the wall. Again, you strangle out the very thing that gives you strength. Here's the ironic part is these authoritarian leaders, they step in. Mm-hmm. They seize control of all of the ideas and powers that have been developed to that point forward. Mm-hmm. But then they stagnate.
Yeah.
So they can use power that already exists, but then that's it. They cannot create anymore because they're choking out the very life of the thing that gave them that power.
Yeah. It's
stupidity upon levels of stupidity that surmount stupidity to the highest degree of stupidity.
Yeah. I mean, we've had 2 U.S. presidents say that they're the law and order type presidents.
Yeah.
Trump and Nixon? No, not Nixon.
Probably Nixon.
Nixon was probably one of them.
I mean, he would be that type of a president.
I just remember some president in his speech, he was like, I am the law and order, and I'm bringing the new world order.
Yeah, but what about all this cool stuff we have?
Yeah, freedom of speech. And what about,
Legos.
We got to have Legos.
If you don't have Legos,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Nothing you can do.
So I get what you're saying, that there's 2 types of people now. No one.
Can we talk about for just a moment? I think we've drilled that in as much. Like I don't think that can be said enough, but it's probably been said enough for this episode.
Yeah.
That Legos
are the will
are good. So I have another topic, and this topic has to do with the human psyche, social psyche.
Okay.
Social memory, social awareness. Black Lives Matter protests.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm starting to see events show up in my news feed that say things like, if Black Lives Matter isn't showing up, isn't number 1 on your news feed still, then you need to like bump it up or something, whatever, something like that. Like you need to
promote it
get
more.
Angry more,
Oh, okay.
Which I don't disagree with. Mm-hmm. But it's also futile. That's the nature of humanity. At the end of the day, we all have to survive. We all have to get back to our day jobs at some point. Mm-hmm. Like we can't be outraged about this forever.
Not forever, but we need to fix. We
need to fix the problem. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. It needs to be fixed. But the problem is we need to do as much as we can in the 2 weeks after an event like this happens, because 2 weeks later, people get back to like their job. They have to. Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. You look at the newspaper every day. If you look at your news feed, especially with international news feeds, there are so many people getting effed up in so many ways.
Yeah.
There's so many problems. The Black Lives Matter movement is critical and we need to solve it. But you can't be angry about it that long, because the next day there was a rape and the next day there was a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, there's so much shit that eventually your noise filter flips back on and it starts denoising it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There is, so I guess the best way to say it, things can escalate more and more until we either have a war and then we fight for a couple of years, and then we're like, okay, we got nowhere with this, right?
I don't think that'll happen anymore.
No,
because I think there's a lot of people out there who wanted it to happen now.
Yeah,
there was a lot of people on both sides, police, by the way, who are actually, I think, operating. I think there are some police who are members of groups who are not necessarily 100% in service to the country. They have some of their service into a secondary group, right? But not just police, right? There's people on both sides that are instigating or elevating intentionally.
Yeah.
Some of them want war. And it failed. Partially because of this 2-week memory issue.
Yeah.
Where it's like, back in the day, you only had to get, you controlled every media channel. get people hyped up.
Yeah.
You could make decisions without them, and you still can to some degree, but it's much harder now with all these cameras everywhere. You do see all the bad, but you also see some of the good.
Yeah. There we go.
And that tempers people's emotions.
It can, like,
you see protesters, defending a police officer in front of or defending a storefront. You know what I mean? You see a police officer walking with the protesters and giving people hugs and sending love.
Yeah.
You see these little glimpses of awesome, and it keeps you a little bit more sane, a little bit more rational. And I think that in the olden days, you could blow up on a given media channel. You could blow up the hyperbole.
Yeah.
And you could start a war. But I think nowadays it's harder because you see so much diversity in opinion that it's hard to just focus your anger or your rage on one group,
I mean, we do have more information coming into us all the time, and we're just like, hey, I can pick and choose what I want to hear and what I want to do. Again, like you said, some officers had more loyalty to whatever secondary group they were a part of. And it's like, okay. Back in like the Civil War, people had more loyalty to the state than the Union.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of bullshit, because it kind of depends on what you're arguing for. Because you'll hear people argue states' rights.
Yeah.
But then they'll get mad then they'll try to revoke California's ability to regulate fuel emissions.
See, that
the same exact people that will then go and tout states' rights for the Confederate flag or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like that whole states' rights thing is just so much bullshit.
Well, that is, nowadays, but back in the day, people were like...
Yeah, I think even back then, it was messaging. I think it was just propaganda bullshit.
Right.
Oh, it's about states' rights. Yeah, sure, until it's a different right that you don't like, then it's not about states' rights. It's about the morality of it, right? It just depends on what side of the morality you're on and what side of the states' rights you're on, right? Just whose states' rights are being imposed upon and why. And then you'll get two sides, right?
Yeah.
You'll get one side that says, oh, states' rights, and another side that says, no, it's about morality.
Well, I think what I was trying to say is that they just hold more loyalty to another organization.
Oh, sure. Sure, I think that's true. I think that's fair, right? That there are people who hold higher loyalties to some sub-organization.
Or an idea.
Or orthogonal organization than they do to the government. You know what I mean? And or to an ideology. Some of that's baked into our country, frankly, with religion.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, it's God and then country and then family.
Yeah.
If you're a religious type. I don't necessarily know that it's right to put them in that order, but I believe that most religions preach that.
Because we came over as a religious people. Anyway.
So there are baked in these sort of secondary and often contradictory powers where people will hold them above country, right? And that actually plays in a lot with religion, especially if you see people doing things that you think are amoral.
Yeah. If
you believe that the Bible actually cites black people as being somehow marked, right? I've heard that used before.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually how it was ever meant, or if that's interpretation, but I've definitely heard that interpretation.
See,
right?
I wouldn't put too much, like this is the final word of everything, because that book's been around forever and written and rewritten and added to. So
yeah, was it in the original author's ideology? Who knows?
Yeah.
Was it in one of the translators' ideology? Who knows? Was it in the interpreter's ideology? Sure, for some of them.
Yeah.
They definitely interpret it that way, right? And so the thing is if you believe that they are to be punished just because it's God, and you believe your country is not doing right, then you get crazy people who they start to put that belief above country, above humanity even.
Yeah, and they're like, well, this is what I was told. Again, the authoritarian person, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about those like doomsday predictionists? The world's going to end March whatever, and it never happens.
They'll get it right one day.
It's just playing those odds,
Yeah,
you
you just
know?
gotta play those odds. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to bullshit mode for a little bit here.
Okay. Any other topic you had?
Wait, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about here. Oh, CRISPR can't resurrect Miles Davis. I wanted to talk about that.
CRISPR?
Yeah, as good as it is, they can't bring Miles Davis back.
So refresh my memory. CRISPR was the genetic altering thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They can't raise the dead.
They can't raise the dead. That's all.
That's all.
Let's see.
How would they do that? Why would they do that? They just get some stem cells?
Yeah, well, okay, they need your memory. Oh, Elon Musk was talking about this on Joe Rogan, dude.
Oh, okay.
About saving your memory. And then he was talking about this idea that what if you save snapshots of your memory at multiple states in time? Mm-hmm. And then they resurrected different versions of yourself from different points in time. And then, like, one version of you could have a conversation with, like, an older version of you.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Simpsons did this.
Fuck. I hate Simpsons. Don't tell me that. What year?
Okay. There was a skit where they're like, who wrote his name into the cement? Bart. You know, they're like, oh, I wonder what it would be like to meet him. Let's do it. So they shoot a ray at the letters and Bart reconstructs. He's like, whoa, cool, dude. Yeah, it was a really lame bit.
Fuck Simpsons.
Yeah.
Fuck it so hard. It needs to end. It needed to die after season 4 or 5 or whatever. It
No,
needs to die.
10 was the worst
10
one.
was 10. Well, when was it last good?
After 10, really.
So 10's the cutoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needed to go after. 10's really long for.
We don't need to see Homer get an iPad.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think Rick and Morty's fucking done. I'm kind of
think it's
done with Dan Harmon.
Only 4 seasons?
I think it's done. I think season 3 actually. We're on season 4, right?
Yeah.
I think season 3 was the. I think when Rick fucking gets captured on that planet.
Yeah.
I think that was the end.
That was it.
Whatever happened after that, I think they sold out. It's starting to smell like Simpsons.
Really?
Just fraught with pop culture references. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something Rick would really go
It's like
against.
too meta, too hyper. Everything's too deep. They did that episode. What did they do? The episode on fucking. I mean, there was a bunch of them, but they. Oh man, it was like plot points or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the Story Train one?
The Story Train.
Yeah.
After I saw the Story Train episode, I was like,
what the hell?
shut the fuck up. It's just too fucking meta, you know? Here's the thing too, is they're writing about writing.
Yeah.
When that's when you know it's gotten too pop culture referencey, when it starts being Hollywood talking about Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Instead of Hollywood talking about stuff that normal average Joes like you and me give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You know? When they start talking about Hollywood, then you know the show's done. Because they're self-servicing at that point. They're just masturbating.
Yeah. Have you seen any new episodes of South Park? Because I've stopped watching that.
I haven't seen it in a while. But to be honest, I never got bored with South Park. I never felt like it was dead. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me say that. I did get bored with it. But not because I thought it had lost quality. It's just that
you moved on, I guess.
Moved on, I guess. You know, yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, it's still good. It's probably still amazing.
I haven't seen an episode, forever.
I haven't seen it forever. You know what? I probably would still like South Park. I think that may be one exception. Matt and Trey, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Okay, another show that's lasted a while, King of the Hill.
I never got really into it. I
Yeah.
watched a couple episodes, but
that's the thing with it. It's like, it's never really something you watch religiously.
Yeah.
It's just something that's on.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, look, King of the Hill's on, and you sit there and you're like, that was a good joke, and then that's it.
Maybe that's the issue with South Park, is that it's like, if you ever happen to catch an episode, it's good. But there is no overarching story. It's not like Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, there's
nothing to suck you back in. So back in the old days where you couldn't watch Netflix, you couldn't binge watch.
No.
I don't think you can binge watch South Park. And so back in the old days where it's like, you had to watch whatever was on. If South Park was on versus something else, I would watch South Park because it's entertaining. But it's not something I'm going to go out and seek,
No.
In a world that we have today, where I can go out and seek something, I have to be compelled to do so. It has to be more compelling than whatever else I would do. And it's because it doesn't have that overarching story that sort of draws you back for the next episode. I'm not compelled. I'd be interested to see if they ever took South Park. They've done it a couple times, like when they froze Cartman.
I never saw that though. All right.
Okay. Well, they froze. He's like trying to get a Nintendo Wii, and he freezes himself into the future. And it's like a 3-part show. I liked it, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if they did something more like that on a more regular basis, where there's a longer arching story, I may actually watch it more
and get into it.
Yeah, and get into it again, because it's still good. It's not super meta, like I said. It's not like super like Hollywood on Hollywood.
Yeah.
Bullshit. And I think that's why it's still good. But I'm just not compelled to go back and watch it. If it's on, I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it and I'll laugh and I'll be like, yeah, this is just good as it was. But it has to be on. I don't find myself compelled to go, I gotta go catch up on South Park. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, whatever.
What about The Mandalorian? Because that had like a good arc, storyline, but you could binge watch all that.
Yeah. I really liked it. There was a couple episodes where I was like, but for the most part, it was really good. Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that. If you had someone that was writing on like the Marvel movies doing TV shows now.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. And they have a few coming out.
Yeah. I really am excited to see the next season. Didn't they have the guy from Marvel doing the second season of Mandalorian? I thought they had one of the guys. I
don't know about Mandalorian. I know that they're doing like a Vision Wanda from the Avengers. Yeah. And they're also doing a Loki TV show.
Loki, dude, I'm excited, but I gotta admit, I kind of feel like they killed his character and they need to just fucking...
Well, he died like, 4 times?
Yeah. But I mean, they really killed him this time. And I get that this is going to be like an alternate dimension, but I still feel like that's like... I love his character, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Jack Sparrow, It's like he's dead now. For reals this time. He's dead. Like, he's dead. We love him. He's
Did they
dead.
really kill
we mourned him.
Jack the Sparrow?
It's hard to go. Yeah, a couple times. It's hard to mourn someone. It's hard to enjoy someone after you've watched them die.
Yeah.
I care a little bit less because it's like I know that you died already. I know that you're dead to this universe. So I don't like. I don't know. He's a great actor. There's a lot of talent in that series. It might be awesome.
It's not even out yet, so we can't even speculate.
We'll see.
Who was it? Willy Wonka. Johnny Depp. So my son put on the new Willy Wonka. I hate that movie.
It's just so bad.
Yes.
The only reason the first one works is because Gene Wilder's a fucking genius.
Oh, Gene Wilder, and the storyline, actually made sense.
Yeah.
Well, not so much sense, but it was just like, hey, come to my candy factory.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to...
It's like I hate it because it's like so old fashioned. Like it's just the pacing. I can't watch it, but it's still, if you watch it, you have to admire the quality. Like it's quality. Oh, yeah. It's well done. Mm-hmm. It's good fucking movies for that time. It's just, it reminds me of that time, and I hate that time because there's no cell phones.
Yeah. Cell phones. Well, that's the thing. No. You got an old classic movie that's better than the remake because the remake tried to shoehorn pop culture stuff in with it.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I hate pop. Like, just get your fucking pop culture. We talk about pop culture on this show.
Yeah.
But we get a pass because we're Splayed.
We're going to hide some treasure with pop culture.
Yeah. I know. I hate it. I hate it. It feels like a show goes downhill,
Yeah.
When you start making... Anyway, next up is Kim Kardashian.
Now we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian and what she's wearing.
What she's wearing. Okay, she's wearing a red...
thong. I don't know.
She's wearing blue. I take it back. Red was a bad choice. She's wearing blue. Okay, yeah. That's it, man. Guys, it's been fucking splayed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been proper splayed. We splayed it properly, you know what I mean?
We had somewhat topic.
We laid out our nuts and we just splayed them. You know what I mean? Like, this is what the show's supposed to be about.
Putting our nuts on.
Kung Fu nutsack on display. for the world, right?
Do you like Kung Pao, that movie?
Kung Pao.
It's like a comedy.
Is that the one where it's like dubbed, but
Yeah.
he's American, but it's like dubbed?
Yeah. Do you care for that one?
I think I liked it.
I think people are split on it because they're like, this is stupid.
Have you seen the one where he's angry? The same actor. I'm pretty sure it's the same actor.
Okay.
And he's like, is this super angry dude? And Death goes to kill him, but he like, Death gets so sick of how angry he is that he just like leaves him alone.
That's interesting. I have to see that.
You gotta watch it, dude. Yeah. He's like eating some cereal and he's like complaining about how like there's never the right ratio of milk to cereal. You always run out.
So he's complaining about everything, and Death is like, screw this.
Yeah, he's like you know, fixes up the death like list or whatever. He's like, nope, scribbles it out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
screw this.
Yeah. You gotta watch it. I gotta watch it again.
I want to watch that now.
I can't remember the name of the movie though. If you look up Kung Pao and look for the actor that's in Kung Pao,
okay,
yeah, just find one of his other movies. It's hilarious.
I'll look that up. That's funny.
I think you'll like it. I think it's better than Kung Pao.
But yeah, Splayed. This has been good.
Fucking splay it, yo. Everybody chilling and tuning into the podcast. Have a chill ass week, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I love you because I love fucking people who are awesome, and that's why. That's the reason. I don't need another reason.
I don't need to explain myself.
I don't need to explain myself. Fuck you.
I'm just gonna say have a good weekend. The complete opposite. You're like, and I want to explain myself, and I don't want to talk anything about it, but I love you.
I love you. No, I want to send some chill ass vibes, man. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah, have a good.
Yeah, everybody. Oh, and don't be a creeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a narcissist, then at least fucking like pretend like you're not. Pretend like the other person you're looking at is a peer, you know?
Yeah.
Keep your fucking hands to yourself. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Cool.
A little preachy there at the end, but I think it needed to be said.
All right. Just don't touch people that don't want to be touched.
Yeah, I think that's a general rule.
All right.
All right. Now let's talk about having a chill ass week.
All right. Now you have a good weekend.
Have a chill ass week.
Yeah. Splayed.